Hey guys, what's going on? So in this video today we're going to go over the T4s for the 4 new characters: Baron, Zemo, Doc, Ock, Swarm, and Electro. And basically I'm going to go over like which ones I'm looking forward to T4ing and anticipating it, and ones that I may T4, just depending on how this character does in whatever purpose they're for. So we're going to start with Baron Zemo. So I will say, last month when I did this video, I was a lot more impressed with the T4s that came out for Emma Frost, Beast, and who else was it? Whatever. I was way more impressed for them. This one I'm not as impressed, so let's look at Baron Zemo's basic. It just does 50% extra damage to the primary target. That's pretty standard, not too extraordinary. Basically, for basics, I like to see probably about 60% damage range, and then it give like a 2-turn offense down or a 2-turn defense up to yourself, or something like that. Just something a little extra than damage. So I'm not really impressed with this one. Dominating blow. This one I will say is kind of tricky. So you can do 80% damage to non-minion primary target, which is a lot of damage, 160% damage to minion primary target, and 5% piercing to minion primary target. So I think this one's a good one. I'm not necessarily sold on it yet, but I think that if you are having trouble, so Baron Zemo is a minion counter, so that includes Hydra, because he's basically, if he kills a Hydra minion, they're not going to revive. That's aim, and that's mercenaries, and Kree or whatever. If you face them, I doubt you will. But yeah, I think if you're having trouble with those teams, then maybe this might be looking forward to. But I don't think it's going to necessarily be. This is going to help you beat teams that you wouldn't originally. I just think this might help a little bit. So I'm interested in this one, but it's not the one that I'm like, oh, I'm for sure doing this when I get this character. Next up we have his ultimate. So 50% damage to primary and second targets, rebound chain to 4 adjacent targets. So his level 6 is basically going to do 40% damage to 3 adjacent targets, and this one is 50% to 4 adjacent targets. So his level 6 is 120% damage, and his level 7 does 200% damage essentially on the field. So that's an 80% increase. That's probably I like 100% damage increases, but 80% is not bad. It's not going to be a huge waste to put it into this. I'm not necessarily going to do it. Again, it's one of those things, if I think it'll help, but and I would also recommend that, like, for T4s, you should definitely go to multiple sources before you really invest in one, because I think you'll find a lot of people say, oh, this one's really good, and you find a lot of people saying that like this other one is decent, and then other people will be like, oh, this one's great. So I think you should go to multiple sources for these. But yeah, I'm just doing a quick run through, and plus we won't know till they're out, but I like to do this just because I think people find it helpful. So yeah, basically an 80% damage increase. I think that's decent. Again, I like the 100% damage range, so it just depends on this. And then his ultimate. So on spawn, he's going to gain a charge and apply immunity to self and all Hydra allies. Whenever he's charged, he's going to attack all non-minion enemies for 100% damage. So this goes up to, I believe, 200% or an extra 100%. He's going to clear 3 positive effects from all enemies, and then he has 20% speed bar for self and non-minion Hydra allies. For passives, I have a 20% rule, which is I want to see 20% total increase. So that could be 10% health, 10% damage, 10% focus, 10% resistance, something like that. So 20% speed. I don't think there's a passive that grants that much speed before, so I need to look into the speed and stuff of this, but this one seems pretty solid. I will say the attacking all non-minion enemies is going to, so he's going to come out and do it on his first turn, and then you have to do his ultimate, which is a 5-turn cooldown to gain more charges. So I think that this is probably going to be, it might happen twice a match, but I think the 20% speed is going to be very helpful. I'm definitely going to, this is going to be one of my top ones for that new Hydra, Crossbones, Baron Zemo, Grenadier, Winter Soldier team. I think this is going to be one of the top ones that I look for if I want to help boost this team. But again, for war, a lot of war specific characters, I'm not really super invested in the T4. If it's basically makes the team, then that's when I'll do it. But if it's just gonna do a little bit of padding to the team, I'm not super interested in it. But yeah, I think this one is definitely interesting, especially the 20% speed to himself and all non-minion Hydra allies. So that's Crossbones and Winter Soldier, and maybe you might be using Red Skull. I don't know. All right, so let's move on to Doc Ock. His basic is just a 60% damage increase. Baron Zemo was 50%. So his secondary, his level 7 is basically, I think it depends on how often you use this team and how long this team lasts, because T4ing for 1 extra charge on the field, I don't think is too crazy. This is a 4-turn special. So basically, if you have 2 charges, you know, you're gonna be down 2 charges. But if you have 3 charges, then you're gonna only be down 1 charge whenever it comes back around. I think it depends on how the team works. I know Electro gets a huge boost from having charges, and we'll go over that when her kit's, you know, there. But Swarm will hurt himself if he doesn't have those charges, and he doesn't really have any way of making charges for himself. So I think that, again, it depends on the context. If you're trying to raid with this team, then maybe that, but I don't think you will want to be. But I think for now, I'm going to skip it, but also just remember that that's there for now. His ultimate, again, it's just 60% damage. Again, I like 80% or 80% to 80% or above, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And then his ultimate in war gain 15% damage, you know, and then in war only chargeable Sinister 6 allies gain 15% damage. So again, I like the 20% rule. 15% damage is not bad. A lot of times these boosts are only 10%. I think if you're having trouble getting through teams, then yeah, this will be worth it. But I really don't think you will, because again, this is the newer team. So I think you should be fine without this. But you know, I don't think this will hurt to have. So yeah, so far nothing that I'm like really super recommending. I think there's a lot of good in these 2 kits, but a lot of them are just basic damage increases. Now, Electro is the character that I think you're going to put at least 2 T4s into. So her basic is just 40% damage. That is terrible. You know, 50% is pretty standard, 60% is pretty standard. So definitely I don't think is worth it. Livewire, again, 40% damage to primary target, 50% damage to secondary attacks. Not really super impressive, pretty standard. Now her ultimate, I will say, 50% damage to all enemies and apply offense down for 2 turns. I like stuff that applies offense down, applies defense up to your team, applies, you know, extends bleeds, extends debuffs, stuff like that, removes buffs. I think this is going to be great. It's 50% piercing damage and then a 2-turn offense down. I think this is, you know, should be the first one you do out of this whole group of characters that come out. And then her ultimate, or her passive, 100% damage to the most injured enemy. So whenever she has 5 charges, she will attack the most injured enemy for 100% damage. Now, I don't know if you will necessarily need the extra 100% damage against the most injured enemy, because you could have, you know, an enemy with like so little health left that extra 100% isn't going to do much. But you know, if you have a team of full health characters, or I'm trying to like, I don't know if she will attack through stealth, but like, let's say Asgardians, for example, when Loki shields, let's say you're trying to take out Hela. If Hela has the lowest health and she goes, I don't know, again, I don't know if she'll go through stealth. It doesn't seem like it says ignore stealth, but let's just say Hela's low on health. Then that extra, you know, it would be, I guess, 300% damage, if I'm doing my math correctly. That could be huge. But again, I think it depends. And she's going to be gaining charges all the time. She'll gain charges in war on ally Sinister 6 turns, gain 1 charge. And there's going to be 6 of them on the field if, you know, you're playing it right. So she'll be getting charges all the time, especially with Doc Ock. And so yeah, I think this could be good. Again, I think her ultimate's the one you should go for first, but this one is also her passive is also very solid. And then finally we have Swarm. Basically, his basic is 30% damage to primary and secondary targets, always chain 2 to 2 adjacent targets. He was already chaining to 1 to 2. I'm not really impressed with this. Again, 30% damage isn't huge. Maybe if it was 60% in this, I'd be like, yeah, it's not a bad one, but I would probably avoid this one. His special, 60% damage to primary target, 30% damage on all bonus attacks. If the primary target has defense down, apply slow. I like this one. So he's going to attack, apply disrupted. If the disrupted sticks, he's going to apply defense down. If the defense down sticks, he's going to apply slow. Applying 3 debuffs on one turn is huge, and I think this is one that I definitely recommend. And 60% damage along with all that isn't bad as well. And then, you know, an extra damage percentage on the bonus attack. So this is probably, I would say, I'm definitely gonna do this one, I think, when I start going for Sinister Six. But yeah, this one and Electro's Ultimate are the ones that I'm really impressed with, and then there's those other ones that I'm like, yeah, it's good, you know, it depends on the context. Are you winning, are you losing? But and then his ultimate, 50% damage to all enemies, apply 2 bleeds for 2 turns. I think 2-turn bleed is good. I think 2-turn offense down or 2-turn defense down is better, but 2-turn bleed isn't bad. So this is probably pretty up there, but I'm not going to say it's essential for them. And then finally, his ultimate, on turn if charged, get an extra 10% healing, so he'll be healing 20% if charged, and he has a 2% dodge chance per charge. I think he can have up to a maximum of 10. That's how much Doc Ock is willing to give out. So yeah, I don't know if he'll ever actually get to 10, just because, you know, there is that deficit with Doc Ock. So yeah, I'm not going to recommend his passive. I think it's, you know, 10% healing isn't worth the T4. So the ones that I'm going to recommend for you guys is B Scream, which is Swarm's special, and then Electro's ultimate, and then Electro's passive, and then Baron Zemo's, I believe, his special, and his True Leader could also be good. So those are the ones that I will, you know, keep in mind. Again, Electro and the B Swarm or B Scream, whatever Swarm's special is, are the ones that I'm going to do for sure, and these other ones I'm going to keep in mind. So that's going to do it for this video. Let me know if this video was helpful. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm downplaying one too much. Let me know if I'm over, you know, playing one too much. Again, don't be afraid to look at other people's content when it comes to T4s, just because they are a rare resource, and we have not been able to play these characters yet. So that's going to do it for this video. On this channel, I do guides, I do news, I do giveaways, I do all sorts of Marvel Strike Force stuff. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, all that great stuff, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.